Hi everyone, this is Christopher here, and today we want to talk about the form view on Monday.com. Now, the form view is a view that lets people, you know, collect information or submit information directly into a board without giving them access to the board. So it's actually a way to gather information, to be able to collect inquiries, capture sales leads, employee onboarding, job applications, IT support requests, event registration, project requests, requests you make to your clients, to your customers, feedbacks and surveys, vacations and leave requests, and bug reports. You know, you just want to collect information and send it directly to your board so that you don't have to be manually, inputting all the data that your clients or your customers are giving to you. So on Monday.com, we have a form that you can create. If you click this plus sign here, this plus button here, you see a form. And as you click it, it opens a form that you can customize and send a link to your clients, your customers, so that they can fill out based on the project. Now we are talking about a new company website. So that's actually the project we're handling. So if you want probably your team members, your clients, or probably you want to do a survey to really understand the pain points and what your customers are looking out for in the kind of website you're building, a company website, how the responsiveness of the website, how you will be able to create a very high quality responsive website. So you can create a form where you can give out to a kind of a survey to allow people to give you suggestions or to give you to give you suggestions on how you can create a good website. So you create a form, and here, this is the form. Let me shift this my image. Okay. So you can now see where you can edit form. You can edit it here, and this is the button where you share the form. It gives you a customized link that you can send to people. So once they click that link, it will open up the form and they can fill it. And as they fill and submit, the the information on that form is populated directly on your Monday.com board. So if we click this edit form, it will open an area where you can actually edit it to whatever project you're handling. Now, this you can add a logo right here. You can click this place and add a logo. This is the name of the project. You can describe the project. You describe the project depending on what you want. Then, as you go down, there's a welcome page. If you want a welcome page, you can just actually write what you want to show here. You write it, the text, the description, you describe what you want as a welcome page for the form. Just something that you want to use to tell your clients what actually the form is about. Then the name, the status, the budget. It can be anything. This is just based on the project we are handling, the new company website we're trying to launch. But depending on the project you're handling, so the name, the status, the budget, the priority, the notes, the department, the project timeline, the sub items. So the sub item. So is this is what you want to edit it. Then if you want to design, and clean it. So depending on the format you want, if you want it to be this way or this way. So you can just align it in whichever way you want, and it will be that way. Then you can also put a color, depending on the colors you want. You can put a color theme, depending on the colors you want. this for instance, or this, anyone you want. Then you can also put a background color too. A background color too, depending on the color you want. So you see the color has changed. So that's how you keep, tweaking the logo and the header. If you want the logo and header, you can click and import an image. You write the logo text, the header alignment, So everything will align. So that's it. So if you're through with this, you can easily go to the settings. There are settings you want to check out before you send the form for your people to fill. So if you want a submission of multiple forms, you can do that. Save as draft anonymous form, reCAPTCHA challenge. Make sure no bots are answering the form. So you make sure that there are humans that are responding to your survey. So you put a reCAPTCHA challenge to ensure that it's humans that answer they gives you information, real life information, so that the information you're getting is authentic. Then response limit, schedule a close date. So if you want maybe to put a timeline, maybe you want it within 7 days, you want the form to be filled, and after that 7 days, no matter who has the link, you won't be able to access the link anymore. So you schedule the close date for use of the form. Then the form language, that's English. So depending on the language you want, you can change the language to whatever you want. Then a response viewing, redirect URL. Maybe you want, after your clients or your customers fill the form, you want to redirect them to another website. This is where you do that. Then when you are through with that, when you are through with that, when you are through with that, so if you want to add content, this is this plus sign on every. If you want to add content to each, if you want to add another box within between this and this, you just click this and add another one, So if you want, for instance, you add a description, the kind of name, either full name or whatever ones you want, then there's a question setting here. So if you want this to be required, you can put it required, so that when the people that are filling there is no it's required. So you can't skip it. It's required. So it means the name is required. So once the person fills the form, the name is required. So you can't submit the form without filling out your name. And for instance, you click it again, you want it hidden, you want to hide the question, you don't want anybody to see the question. Maybe you don't want this to see the question, you can also hide the question so that no one can see it. But this is the name, you don't want to hide the name. Probably there's something else you want to hide in this form, you can hide it. And when you come to logic, you say you select a question. For instance, logic helps you to helps. For instance, you want a conditional logic. It's called conditional logic. So if something happens, then you know that there is a corresponding action that has. So for instance, you select a question. When this is this, then something else has to, then a different action has to occur. So this is what logic means. So when you are through with the form, after all the editing based on the project or what you want to achieve, then you can easily share the form. You copy the form link and share it with your clients, share it with your customers, And as they keep filling the forms, it will be populating directly onto your monday.com board. So this is a very simple form that you can create for your business, for your surveys, and for whatever you want to do that you can use to collect referrals. You want to collect um, you want to collect information from your customers and your clients. This is a very good way you can do that. And it also helps when you want to do automation, you can automate it as well. So that when those information, those data is coming into monday.com, you place an automation that can quickly, set out the groups that the those leads are coming in. If you are leads, whether it's leads that's supposed to go to different kind of departments, which maybe is not, you want the leads to go to a different department, you can set an automation that once the leads are entering onto your monday.com automatically begins to send them to the different departments that will attend to their needs. So the form view is a very wonderful way to be able to handle your projects and to be able to, make sure that you save a lot of time and not be entangled on doing things manually. So this is how far I can go for this video. It's very simple and short video. I'm an AI automation specialist who is very skilled in handling, making sure that you don't waste a lot of time in your task. I can help you streamline your workflows. I can help you automate your tasks or automate your business. Just hit me up, send me a DM, and we'll discuss and find out what can be done to help you streamline your workflows and your business so that you can have more time to do more important things that can scale your business. So thank you so much. See you in the next video.